Hey, folks, let's go. Let's make it happen. Good morning. Adam here. Adam here with RecordKrate in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm hanging out this morning. I got here, gave Nico some treats, and soon I'll get her some food, and she'll be really happy there. And cool things like that. But hey, welcome into Record Talk. This is number 2. It's kind of like revamping, bringing back the coffee and vinyl that I did years ago when COVID first came to America, COVID-19 that is. Of course, we've had for many, many years there was COVID, just a different variant. And so just coming on to talk about records and hang out for a little while and things like that. And with that said, I wanted to talk a little bit about collecting. Is record collecting over now? Are people still collecting records? I think about that because of seeing habits with people buying things, not only in the physical stores, but also online. And seeing how things are with things like that. We have Whatnot, which has been good for me. Um, I like the fact that I can offer my records locally, and then after a while, I can offer them internationally on Whatnot. And so yeah, that's been good for me. Going live and showing records, having an auction, things like that. Also like the fact that I can do it on YouTube, which I did last Sunday, and I promised a second one, so I'll get that in soon this week, and things like that. But are people buying all the variants? So-and-so will have a new record out, and there'll be at this retail store and this retail store, as well as brick and mortar independent record stores, and then this online store will have a different variant, and in this store, yeah, and me and Ja were talking about that yesterday, and it's like, Billy Strings has a new record that's coming out on Friday, and there's an Indian variant, indie indie variant, which I'll have that for Friday, and but also on his website there's a variant, and then if you go to this store and this store and go online here, and then there's so many different variants, and so I would like to say, labels, only keep the variants in the record stores. That's record stores that came along many years ago, and we made it happen. We got records thriving again, and don't let those other people have a variant. Give them the traditional black. And so, are we collecting the different variants? Um, with the price of records, um, to collect 2 variants or 3 variants or 4 variants could be way over $100. So I wonder if people are still doing that. I know that there's this person I follow on Instagram, and she has so many Taylor Swift records, and they include variants and some of the other stuff. I know that with Record Store Day, people rush out to get certain pressings of certain records that are made available just for that day. And of course, sometimes it's a Record Store Day first, so it may be on a variant. It may have a variant. It may have a variant color of vinyl, or it may have a variant cover, and then it could be released later on, and things like that. So, yeah. But it's something to think about. Something I see online. Other people are doing videos about is collecting over, and things like that. I'd love to hear your thought. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please put the comments below. Are you collecting? Are you seeking an original? Let's take example Black Sabbath, a band from England, and they released a record, and their first record was released on a label in England. They also had a Vertigo release. And then, of course, they come to America, it's on Warner Brothers. And then there's the Green Label. And then there's all the different labels. Do you collect every variant of that? When you go to buy um, their first record, Black Sabbath's first record, do you seek to get an early pressing? Or do you seek to buy the current pressing, which could be, I don't know, $25, $28 versus UK Vertigo for $120? Yeah. So are we buying that Black Sabbath record so that we can listen to it? Are we buying it to say, hey, look what I got? I got this Black Sabbath on this label right here that came from the UK, and cool things like that. People always talk about getting the purple label or the plum label Led Zeppelin record. Is that important? I didn't like Black. Hey, Tars. I didn't like Black Sabbath. David Lee Roth, man, he was so good for Black Sabbath. Good morning. How are you? Hey, TARDIS, I did send you a package out yesterday, so be on the lookout for that. And tell Kirby I said hi. And and, and then there's so many different records that are being released every week. I mean, tons and tons and tons of records that have been released, and then we also have to think about our budget. How much are we going to budget each week, each month, or each year for records? Um, I always like to tell my customers, buy budget. Buy these budget records that are $4, $5, $10, $15, and occasionally treat yourself to something, maybe a $30 record, maybe a $35 record, and things like that. So, it's just something I think about, something, yeah. The other thing, the money that we have to spend now. Um, I know it's an election year, and I know things get crazy with election years, but does that affect the money we have? Awesome. Thanks, Tardis. Have a good day at the office. Tell Kirby we said hi. And then, of course, it's no joke that broccoli costs more than it did a year ago, and it's no joke that a lot of things at the grocery store are more expensive. So I just wonder how people are doing with collecting and things like that. Yeah, I know that for myself, the way things are, I'm actually selling a lot of my personal records. And is it a good time? Maybe. The cool thing is I purchased these records many, many years ago. And so they could have come in at a buyback, and I was like, ooh, oh, and then I would take that and say, this one's mine, and not put it out on the shelf. Or I would be at another store, and I would pick it up for a lower price than what the value is now. Hey, Dill, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. We're talking about record collecting. Is record collecting over? Yeah. And then, are people losing interest in records? Are they thinking I'm going to buy CDs? I'm going to buy a cassette. And it's pretty true that, now there's more, let's just say 90s grunge. There's a lot more 90s grunge that you can buy new today. But for the most part, a lot of 90s grunge is crazy expensive. So if you can find the cassette for $3 or $4 or $5 or $10, that's a lot cheaper than getting an original pressing of Mother Love Bone or something like that. 80s, 90s grunge. And so, yeah. And of course, you can go online and you can listen to a lot of things. There's a lot of streaming services that you can listen to free, but there's also some premium services. Like, do we want to listen to this album online without commercials or without advertisements? And we pay a premium for that, which is okay. The convenience, we connects to your automobile. When you go to in your automobile, your phone connects to your audio system, and you can hear the music. And with that comes a cost, data. a lot of people have a phone plan that includes X number of data, and then when we exceed the data, it could be throttled, it could be additional fees, different additional cost, for that. And so there's just so many things that to think about. Maybe I think more about it and look at it in a different way than a lot of my customers or a lot of you, because I have a store and I'm like, what can I do to get more people in the shop? What can I do to get people buying more? And yeah, things went crazy in 2020. We didn't know what was going to happen. We're all going to die. And then thank God I had a good inventory in the shop, and that kept me alive for a few years. And we're still making it happen. So yeah, I would love to hear some feedback on that and cool things like that. And also hope everybody's doing really well this morning. Happy Wednesday. So there we go. Today I'm off to Wake Forest. I come in every morning, take care of baby girl, pack some things from Wake Forest, follow up with emails, pack some items if there's sales over the night. I haven't even checked to see, if I had sales. Is it Wednesday already? Unfortunately, or I'm sorry, it is. It is Wednesday. I'm trying not to use that word unfortunately anymore, but it is Wednesday. Yeah, and happy Wednesday to everybody. I'm going to check and see if there was any orders overnight. Yeah. Yeah, so there we go. So thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching the replay. And love to hear your feedback on this. I'm going to take off. I'll be back on Friday morning at 7:30, and we'll talk more about records. I have no idea what I want to talk about, but I'll think of something. I'll get it scheduled and think about it. Yeah, cool thing. Joe Williamson is here. Good morning, Joe. How are you? Yeah, thanks for popping in, Joe. Just been talking a little bit about, is record collecting over with? Is record collecting over? Is it over? Or people quit collecting? See you later, Dill. Looking forward to your next video. And tell your kitty I said hello. Anyway, Joe, we're wrapping it up, but thanks for popping in, Joe. I'll be back next Friday. I'll be back Friday at 7:30 for a little record talk. I forgot a little. Coming in late. I'm glad you're late. I'm glad you're here, Joe. It's always good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Oh, and I hope you're doing well with the storm. Helena. Yeah, I hope you're okay with that. And we're thinking about you, so be safe. Everybody have a wonderful wonderful day. I'm going to sneak over and hang out with Victoria. Adventures with Victoria. She comes on at 8 o'clock. It's always a good laugh, so I'm going to hang out with her for a little while on here on YouTube. Adventures with Victoria. Take care, everybody. See you soon.